Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Sarah Von Brannick's Simple Abundance 365 Days to a Balanced and Joyful Life, January 12th. Until it is carved in stone. Visiting old cemeteries can be very illuminating in unexpected ways. In fact, during the late 19th century, visiting graveyards with a picnic became a Victorian pastime that grew from the collective grief brought on by the Civil War. Whether they wore blue or gray, no family was left untouched. And so landscape architects such as Frederick Law Olmsted, who designed Central Park and the U.S. Capitol, reimagined cemeteries as landscapes of remembrance and a source of solace, beauty, art, and history. I love old cemeteries. When I was growing up in Massachusetts, there was a small graveyard behind our house that had been built in 1789. When I moved to London, I learned the art of brass stone rubbing at ancient grave sites when I was living in Paris writing my play about Sarah Bernhardt. I tended her grave in I don't know how to say that, Lache Cemetery every week. It seems to me that old cemeteries whisper that until it is carved in stone, pursuing our heart's desire is our soul's prime directive if we are to recognize what makes us truly happy. In the 1938 Pulitzer Prize-winning play Our Town by Thornton Wilder, a deeply poignant scene takes place in a graveyard. The play is set in a fictional American small town of Grover's Corners, New Hampshire, between 1901 and 1913, and the audience is given an opportunity to glimpse the daily life of two neighboring families, the Webbs and the Gibbs. As their children grow up, fall in love, marry, and have children of their own. In Act 3, we are observers at a funeral. Ghosts comfort the young heroine Emily, who has recently died in childbirth. Still longing for the life she has left so abruptly, Emily wishes to revisit one ordinary, unimportant day in her life. The ghosts warn her that she will be able to watch but not speak to her loved ones, nor change her choices. When she gets her wish, she realizes how much the living take for granted. Eventually, her visit is too much for her to bear. I didn't realize, she confesses mournfully, all that was going on, and we never noticed. Goodbye, world. Goodbye, Grover's Corners. Mama and Papa. Goodbye to clocks ticking, and Mama sunflowers, and food, and coffee, and new iron dresses, and hot baths, and sleeping, and waking up. Oh, Earth, you're too wonderful for anybody to realize you. On our new path, we will become seekers of what I call everyday epiphanies, those fleeting moments when, like Emily, we recognize the sacred in our ordinary. Hopefully, we'll realize in our own sunflowers, in the aroma of fresh coffee brewing, and in hot baths, that none of us can afford to throw away even one unimportant day by not noticing the wonder of it all. We must be willing to discover and then appreciate the authentic moments of happiness available to each of us every day. I think that's a really good reminder about all the things that we have in our life that we take for granted. My word for the year, I try to pick a word every year, and my word for the year this year is gratitude. And I started using this 1-minute gratitude journal. You can buy it on Amazon. It's not very expensive. It's a super simple. It's not a very big book. It wasn't very expensive. And on the inside, you have days and dates, and then you can write, today I'm grateful for, and, you don't need this journal. You don't need this specific journal. You can, use a piece of paper or, whatever, and put the date and try to write, every single day, just 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for, things that, you have in your life that maybe other people aren't fortunate enough to have, or, things that you have this year that were things last year that you wanted that you actually received. Because, we have so much in our lives that we take for granted, so much. And we're so blessed. I mean, if you're able to watch this on the internet, you're blessed. You're so much better off than so many other people in the world. There are people that live in the world on $1 a day, $1. And most people like the internet or cell phone service, however you're watching this, whether it's on your phone or a tablet or a computer, what you're paying for cell service or internet service is what most people live on in a month. That's just for one bill. And we take these things for granted. Like, we are so fortunate. We are so blessed. And yet we're never happy. There's always something, like we're always striving for the next bigger, better, brighter, because we think it's going to make us happy. And it isn't. It's appreciating everything that we have right now that will really make us happy. And honestly, getting rid of stuff will make you even happier. I'm going through right now, and I'm doing clutter clearing, and I'm going through drawers, and I'm going through cupboards, and I'm going through closets, and I'm getting rid of stuff, things like brand new clothes that have tags on them. And, I just keep holding on to them, thinking that maybe one day I'll wear it, maybe one day it's never going to happen. It's been sitting in my closet for 2 years, and it's just collecting dust. You know what? I'm going to let it go to someone who could really use it, someone who will appreciate it more, instead of it just sitting and getting moth-eaten in my closet. I'll let it go to somewhere else where someone else might be able to enjoy it or use it or appreciate it, because I'm certainly not appreciating it sitting in my closet. And it makes me feel so good. Like, I've got a big box of stuff that I need to take to the Goodwill, probably this week, because I keep going through and pulling out cups and glasses and mugs and silverware. Like, we got a drawer that's full of all kinds of, utensils that we hardly ever use. Things we got for our wedding like 10 years ago that we never used, or we used once or twice. And, it's just taking up space, and it's just cluttering and clogging up energy. And so, appreciating everything that we have, spending time practicing gratitude, and clearing clutter will do so much to make you so happy. But just take time to remember and to think about all of the things that you have in your life. If you're able to actually read a book, there are so many people who can't even do that. They either don't know how to read, or they don't have the gift of sight. Be grateful for that. So just some things to think about for today. Until tomorrow, I hope you guys have a tremendous and blessed day. Take care.